On the morning of January 1, 2023, while most families across America were recovering from New Year celebrations, something felt strangely off inside an affluent coastal town just south of Boston. A mother of 3 had seemingly vanished without warning. There were no signs of struggle, no desperate phone calls, no confirmed sightings, just silence. At first, it looked like the story of a missing person. But as investigators began digging deeper, an unsettling picture slowly emerged. One shaped not by eyewitnesses or confessions, but by digital footprints, internet searches, surveillance footage, damaged evidence, and a series of chilling details that prosecutors would later argue revealed a calculated attempt to cover up murder. This is the case of Anna Walshe. Anna Walshe was a 39-year-old real estate professional, a mother of 3 young boys, and by all accounts deeply ambitious. Originally from Serbia, Anna had built a life in Massachusetts with her husband, Brian Walshe. Together, the family lived in the quiet town of Cohasset, an affluent seaside community known more for its calm neighborhoods than violent crime. From the outside, their life appeared stable. Anna worked in Washington, D.C., often traveling between Massachusetts and the capital for her job at a luxury real estate company. Brian stayed home more often with the children. But beneath the polished image, the marriage appeared increasingly strained. By late 2022, tensions had reportedly begun building inside the household. Financial stress lingered in the background. Brian had previously pleaded guilty in a federal art fraud case involving fake paintings and was awaiting sentencing. The family dynamic, while private, was far from perfect. Still, nothing prepared investigators for what would happen after New Year's Eve. According to reports, Anna spent December 31, 2022, celebrating the holiday with her husband and children at their home in Cohasset. It would become the last confirmed day anyone saw her alive. The next morning, New Year's Day, Anna was supposedly called away for a work emergency in Washington, D.C. Brian later told investigators that she had left the house early in the morning, taking a rideshare or flight to return for business. At first, the explanation sounded plausible. Anna frequently traveled for work. But there was one major problem. No one could verify the trip. There were no rideshare records, no airline tickets, no security footage showing Anna at an airport, no evidence she had ever arrived in Washington. Days passed. Friends and co-workers became concerned when Anna failed to report for work. Even more alarming, she had stopped responding to calls and messages, something deeply unusual for a devoted mother who remained closely involved in both work and family life. On January 4th, Anna Walshe was officially reported missing. Almost immediately, investigators noticed inconsistencies in Brian Walshe's account. He claimed he had driven to buy groceries and run errands on New Year's Day. Yet surveillance footage and receipts told a more complicated story. Detectives began retracing his movements, searching for anything that could explain Anna's disappearance. Then came one of the first disturbing discoveries. Investigators learned Brian had allegedly spent hundreds of dollars in cash at a hardware store shortly after Anna vanished. The purchases included cleaning supplies, mops, buckets, tarps, tape, protective materials, and other items prosecutors later described as suspicious. Individually, these purchases might not have raised alarms, but taken together, and timed immediately after Anna disappeared, they painted a troubling picture. The investigation intensified. Police searched the family home in Cohasset. Specialized teams examined the property. Cadaver dogs were reportedly brought in. Nearby waste facilities were also searched as detectives worked to determine whether evidence had been discarded. Then investigators uncovered something that changed the entire direction of the case: Brian Walshe's internet activity. According to prosecutors, investigators discovered a series of Google searches, allegedly conducted from Brian's son's tablet, in the days surrounding Anna's disappearance. The searches were graphic, specific, and deeply disturbing. Prosecutors alleged the searches included phrases related to body decomposition, dismemberment, cleaning blood from floors, disposal of human remains, and how long before a body begins to smell. Among the reported searches were questions about whether dismemberment could be identified and how to dispose of a body. The timing stunned investigators. Many of the searches were allegedly conducted shortly after Anna was last seen alive. And according to prosecutors, Brian initially denied using the computer. As investigators pieced together the timeline, more forensic evidence reportedly began surfacing. Authorities claimed they found blood and damaged items inside the basement area of the family home. Prosecutors later alleged that DNA evidence linked to Anna had been recovered from certain materials collected during the investigation. Additional evidence reportedly emerged from trash disposal sites. Investigators alleged that bags linked to Brian contained items including cleaning supplies, stained materials, personal belongings, and biological evidence connected to Anna. Despite the mounting evidence, one major question remained unanswered. Where was Anna? Her body has never been found. That absence complicated the case, but it did not stop prosecutors from moving forward. On January 8, 2023, Brian Walshe was first arrested on charges related to misleading investigators during the missing person investigation. Days later, after additional evidence emerged, prosecutors formally charged him with Anna Walshe's murder. Authorities alleged Brian killed Anna sometime in the early hours of New Year's Day inside their home, before allegedly attempting to conceal the crime and dispose of evidence. Brian pleaded not guilty. His legal team has challenged aspects of the prosecution's evidence, while maintaining his innocence. As the case developed, public fascination only grew stronger. There was no recovered body, no eyewitness to a killing, no confession. Instead, much of the prosecution's narrative relied on circumstantial evidence, particularly digital evidence, search histories, phone activity, surveillance footage, purchase records. Modern murder investigations increasingly leave behind invisible trails, and in this case, prosecutors argued the digital record told a story that physical witnesses could not. For Anna's loved ones, however, the legal arguments existed beside a deeper tragedy. 3 children lost their mother. Friends described Anna as driven, caring, and deeply committed to her family. Her disappearance left a painful emptiness that no courtroom process could erase. And even now, years later, one haunting reality remains. No one has found Anna Walshe. No gravesite exists. No final goodbye was possible. Only unanswered questions surrounding what happened inside that Massachusetts home after midnight on New Year's Day. The case of Anna Walshe stands as one of the most unsettling criminal investigations of recent years. Not simply because of what prosecutors allege happened, but because of how investigators say they uncovered it. Not through a witness, not through a confession, but through fragments left behind in the digital shadows. A search bar, a timeline, and a silence that prosecutors believe revealed far more than words ever could.